Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Back here is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we are in the ultimate family four-door off-roader. We are in
The ultimate?
Look at it. We are in the 2022 Ford Bronco. Which one is it, Tucker? Raptor. And in this video, we've got the doors off, the roof off. We're going to tell you exactly what this beast of a vehicle is like here in the city and what it's like living with our family of 3 for a week. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, our third Bronco. Very excited. You were excited when I told you this one was coming to us.
Yeah.
This is the biggest, the baddest one that they make by a long shot. What are your thoughts?
I hate it. I'm kidding. I love it. Of course I love it.
Yes.
You weren't expecting that.
No, you threw me for a loop. This thing is the tallest, the widest, the highest off the ground, the most powerful Bronco in the lineup. It is their most capable off-roader, but we've been living with it for a week, plus a day. Ford was gracious enough to bring this to us over the July 4th holiday. So naturally we took the doors and roof off, just like we did with the last one. What have been your thoughts driving this thing, this massive beast, around town?
I like it better than the last trim we had.
Okay.
What was that?
That was the Everglades.
The Everglades. And there's a few key things that I like this a lot better than that one.
Okay.
This one doesn't feel as rugged in a way, not in a way like I know it's bigger and all of that, but like there's the automatic seats.
Power seats.
The gauge cluster is so much nicer.
Okay. So yes, let's pull around to the gauge cluster. This one gets the Ford F-150's gauge cluster, and gone is the just dumb Ford Bronco standard gauge cluster. This is
that's
so
on all the other ones, right?
Every single one. Yeah,
this one,
I was like, the only way you can get the.
When I first started driving it, I was like, I don't know if I'm like just getting used to the Bronco gauge cluster, or if I just really like this one a lot better. I do like this one a lot better. And then you told me it was different, and then I was like, oh, well, then that makes sense.
It's much more legible, much more glanceable. That was my big complaint with the last, with the standard Bronco gauge clusters. It's not glanceable. You kind of have to look around, which I would assume the more you drive it, you would get used to it. But this is instantly recognizable. Like I said, they borrowed it from the Ford F-150. I didn't so much like it in the first F-150 we tested. That was at King Ranch we took to Austin. But I think it works very nicely in here. And we'll get into it here in a little bit, but it changes based on what drive mode you're in. So there's some fun stuff there.
Yeah,
but
I like that. This one has a step.
Yes. A very rugged step that you won't slide on, and you can take off. And there's a rock slider. It's attached to the rock slider, so very good protection on this one as well.
So I like the step, which the last one did not have, and it almost made me like not want to get in the car. And then when I was in the car, I didn't want to get out of the car because
And then you joked about the last one, the Everglades, kind of being So I've long held that the Bronco is a better vehicle to live with day in and day out over its main competition in the Wrangler, and that still holds true. I brought my brother, brought him for a ride in this, and he had a JK Wrangler for many years. He said that this one is just so much better riding than
yeah.
any Wrangler.
Well, we
he's
rode
ever
it.
been in.
We rode in it. Yeah, that was awful.
And this thing, I would say it's more polished than that Everglades. It's got a wider stance, and then it's got those Fox off-road shocks for high-speed desert racing with 13 and 14 inches of travel front and rear.
For all that high-speed desert chasing our
Yes,
family does.
Exactly. This really does translate to a fairly nice ride. We're about to go over some railroad tracks, and we're going to do, of course, our wobbly head test on the brick streets with Tucker coming up soon. But
And you know, we've taken the roof and the doors off, which we were like, we don't know if we're going to do because it's just been so obnoxiously hot.
Yeah.
But the air is really good.
Yes,
Working
it really
really
is.
nice. So it does make it like it's been a pleasant ride. I don't feel like I'm sweating my face off.
And while we're talking about the doors and the roof, I mentioned this is the third one that we've had. This is the first one we've had without the roof rack, so Tucker is actually able to go al fresco back there as well. No panel over the back because, so we have two individual panels over the driver. Those were easy to get on and off with that roof rack in place, but that middle panel does not come off with the roof rack. So now that we are without roof rack, Tucker can ride back there very nicely and easily. We could take that back shell off, but it's really more hassle than it's worth for the short time that we've got this, but very nice. And then this typically is not on Ford Broncos. This being a Raptor needed some extra bracing for, again, all that high-speed desert racing our family does. So we've got some extra bracing here and way back there, back in the back. But a fairly nice open air experience, right? It's a convertible. It's a four-door car. It seats 5 comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun, right?
Yeah. It is fun. It fits in our garage too.
It actually fits in our single car garage door garage, even though it is 85 inches wide.
Yes.
So yeah, it's the same width essentially as a Ram TRX, which we did have and didn't even attempt to get in our garage because of how long it is. This is more compact and short, which made it a lot of fun.
Still stocky.
Yes, made it a lot of fun off-road. Go check out my off-road video. It's a lot of fun.
But it's wide, but it's still a little small on the inside.
So yes, it is still built on a mid-size pickup truck platform. So yes, you still get mid-size dimensions in here. So unlike that Ram TRX, which was huge inside,
Right.
this is still a mid-size SUV.
Yeah.
And on that note, can you tell where the corners are from where you sit?
The corners?
Yeah, the corners of the vehicle. The wheels, how far out this vehicle goes. Can you tell from there?
No.
With
Yeah.
the doors off,
No.
it's a little bit easier.
It is easier with the doors off. Yeah, it's pretty thick, huh?
Yep, so this thing is really wide, and it's thanks to those massive over fenders, which I had thought was kind of funny. The 360 bird's eye camera, you can actually see the real tires when you
Yes.
crank the wheel
Yeah,
on that.
because they're so wide
Yes,
out there. Yes.
yes. This thing really stands wide. How has that been driving around for you? Just how wide this thing is?
I only had problems parking in one small parking lot one time.
Yep.
But the 360 cameras like really helped with that. And then I just had that one issue, and then I haven't really had any issues other than that. But it is something that you would have to get used to.
Yeah, and I feel like once you did, I mean, we have so many large vehicles here in Texas anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like you would adjust accordingly. Let's see if we're going slow enough. Nope, it's not gonna let me do the cameras. And here we turn on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, Texas. Tucker, how's your wobbly head back there? Good? What are your thoughts here on the brick streets, Holly?
It's not bad.
Yeah?
It's pretty smooth. A lot smoother than I was expecting it to be.
Again, it is built for soaking up bumps at 100+ miles an hour.
I mean, you're definitely on these streets gonna get broken up more in a sports car.
Yes, absolutely. This thing
It kind of feels like you're riding like a Bronco bull or Bronco.
a bucking Bronco.
Bucking Bronco.
There you go, those are the words.
Like, you know how you're supposed to like lean into that's kind of how it feels like the car does. It leans into the...
So what are your thoughts? We haven't even really talked about the exterior styling of this. What are your thoughts on the look of this thing with those huge over fenders, which I can massively see from where I sit right here? They sit out really wide. What are your thoughts on the look?
I like it a lot. It's a lot of very sharp edges. It's big, and I feel like if you're gonna have a Bronco, it needs to be a presence, right?
Right.
On the road, you need to be like turning heads.
And yeah, I've gotten my first person to chase me down and give me a thumbs up in this.
Oh yeah.
Like I've gotten a few looks, but never have I had someone chase me down before until this. So that was pretty cool. So talking about the presence of this vehicle, it's riding on 37-inch tall tires, the biggest tires that we've had on anything to date. What are your thoughts on how those add to the overall just imposing nature of this?
Yeah, I mean, they're almost as tall as I am.
Yeah.
So they're, but I mean, I like it. I like how.
Now we do
I haven't had any issues, but
we do have that 37-inch tall tire back there in the back.
Yeah, that's the one I have the issue with.
Okay. Why so?
The visibility looking back, and I don't even know why I looked back then, is awful. There is, I mean, obviously when you have the doors off and stuff, there's plenty of visibility all here, but looking straight back, I can't see anything hardly.
Yeah.
At all. That tire is exactly where cars behind you are.
Yep. Which we've got Tucker sitting there in the middle right now, and he takes up the exact same location in the rear view mirror visibility as that rear tire and third brake light. Yeah, the visibility out the back, not so great.
That's a nice way to put it.
I have seen cars disappear back there.
Yeah.
This would be a great
big car.
This would be a great candidate for a rear view camera mirror. Hello, which we do not have. Putting the child safety seat in the back of the Ford Bronco with the doors put back on is a fairly easy process. So this being the Raptor means it sits up a little bit higher, but I'm 5'10", so it works out pretty easily for me. I will call out, Tucker was riding in the middle here, but we do have a very slender pull down center armrest with 2 cup holders in it if he's not. There are no center lower anchor points, so while Tucker was riding in the middle, we had to borrow from the outside seats, but we do have little dots here on the backs of the front seats to show you exactly where they are. They are wedged a little bit in between the leather of the seat back and the seat bottom, and that is because they are 60-40 split and relatively fold flat. If you had the rear tailgate, slide out tailgate, this would be more of a flat surface, but you can see we do have top tethers all the way across the back seats here. So we're going to go ahead and put this up, recline it just the little bit that it does to match the recline of our child safety seat, and then we will bring it in. This is Graco's Extend to Fit, and we've got it in the forward-facing configuration. I'm going to go ahead and feed the top tether through underneath that headrest. Maybe. There we go. And then scoot this back into place. As I mentioned earlier, the lower latch points are a little obscured by the leather on our particular test model. Again, the standard seat material is marine grade vinyl, but once you get those in place and climb up on the running board, it is rather simple to tighten this down. And then I'm going to take you around the back and show you what getting that top tether on is like. Coming around to the back of the Bronco to put that top tether in, you can see it is a lifted vehicle, so it is pretty high. I am 5'10", but it is not so far that I can't reach the backs of the front seats. So as far as installing that top tether, it really is a fairly easy operation. To get it truly snug, I need 2 hands, but for me, not much of a problem. If you are a little bit vertically challenged, I can see where reaching all the way in might be a problem, but otherwise a fairly simple install here. I give the Ford Bronco Raptor a solid A for ease of installation.
You're comparing this to a Jeep Wrangler, which a lot of people do, right? The seat, for me, one of the biggest factors is the seats in all of the Broncos that we've tested are so much more comfortable than any Jeep seats I've ever sat in. Wranglers. And even that one that wasn't a Wrangler, that's
Grand Cherokee, yeah.
the new one. So for me, that's a big deal because a Bronco is kind of one of those vehicles that it's meant to be, and Wranglers, it's meant to be driven like long places, like it's a road trip fun vehicle, right?
So let's talk about these seats. We have the upgraded leather package on ours, navy blue and orange. Me, as a Houston Astros fan, I absolutely love them. They're leather wrapped, they're suede. It says Raptor right here behind your back. You like?
I like. Yes. I mean, the orange is not my favorite, but I would take it. If that's the only option for a Bronco Raptor, I'd take it.
Yep. So you can get marine grade vinyl. That is the base seat in these. These do have the upgraded leather. And I really like, I'm gonna see if I can pull around. We've got the orange dot pattern here in the center where the suede is.
Yeah.
Tucker says he really likes it. The back seats back there also have it. What do you think about the seats, T-Man? Good. And then
worth the upgrade.
These seat belts are a $395 option. Look, I told you a price of something.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't do the code orange seat belts.
No.
No?
Not worth it. Unless it's like the seats, if they're a combined deal, because the seats are.
So we also get the texture here on the dashboard that is not hard plastic.
Is this navy blue?
It is navy blue.
I like that.
Orange stitching, orange Bronco here on the hard plastic panel here. We get the 12-inch touchscreen. A lot of code orange accents all the way around in this, and a little bit of carbon fiber. And
so is the Raptor a trim level?
Yes.
Okay, so you couldn't like add a Raptor package onto another. Okay.
No, it's not like the Sasquatch where you can add it onto any. This is its own, just like David S. Pumpkins, this is his own thing.
Oh boy.
And then you've got the code orange. Yep. Get around him. Yeah. And then you've got the code orange top dead center mark on your.
Get out the way. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And then you've got the code orange accent on top dead center there on the steering wheel, which, tell me about the steering wheel.
I like the steering wheel.
Yeah, so
it's thick, it's a steering wheel,
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
thicker rimmed than the normal Bronco steering wheel. It's leather wrapped, a lot of code orange accents.
But then you also have, this carbon fiber, that's nice.
Button overload.
I love the
Bronco?
The Bronco, of course. Probably I would say yes.
Keep going.
I'm gonna go around.
Button
I would
overload?
probably say button overload because I have not even tried to attempt to use the button. So probably.
So it does have some of the same buttons that any other Bronco does, but it has additional buttons here. I'm gonna try and, so we've got exhaust mode, suspension mode, an R button, and then steering mode. So you can adjust how this thing behaves, how loud it is, all there from the steering wheel. We also have 7 different G.O.A.T modes, goes over any terrain, off-road presets, locking, everything. We talk more about that in my solo reviews. Go check those out if you want to know more about it. You've pretty much just hung out in normal, right? Any other thoughts on this one?
I like it, but I think I'm probably gonna cry at the price tag.
So, nice segue. I mentioned earlier, this is a 2022 year model, and not much changed between 22 and 23, except for, at least when I went online to build one, I couldn't get this blue color anymore.
Oh.
so that's gone. But you would want Area 51 anyway, right?
Yes. Oh, that blue color. I thought
this
you meant
blue
the
color.
dash.
No, the exterior blue. So can't get the exterior blue, which I know you aren't the biggest a fan of.
No, this color blue is not my favorite.
And then the price. The price went up drastically. We'll talk more about 2023 pricing after I ask you what you think the pricing of this 2022 is.
Well,
Give it some. Go. Oh, yeah. So what do you think?
since I know I'm gonna cry about it,
Yeah.
89.
No, actually not. So, Ford does this interesting thing. They send us the window sticker that doesn't have pricing on it, and they give us auxiliary pricing on a separate worksheet. This one says pricing starts at $68,500, but then with all the add-ons, $81,085
Okay.
for this one, a
Okay.
22 model.
Okay.
I went online and built a 2023, everything the same except for the paint color. Care to guess?
How much?
Let me pull up officially because it made my eyes water when I built it out of pure sadness. 97,860. So that's a
Why
massive
did it go
price
up
jump.
so much?
I do not know. I guess Ford realized if dealers are going to mark it up, maybe they should cash in on that a little bit. But
So then if dealers mark it up, it's a six-figure
yes,
vehicle.
you are flirting
and
with.
doesn't even have a head-up display.
You are flirting with 100,000, and yes, you also get Ford build quality. This is a little shaky here. I mean, this is meant to be an off-road vehicle, so it's not the most luxurious all the way around.
Right.
Is this essentially a six-figure vehicle for you?
No.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
And you also, we didn't talk about miles per gallon either, the MPG.
Yeah, so the window sticker says 15 city, 16 highway, 15 combined. And our 272 miles flat in this, we're getting 12.8. Yeah, on premium because it has a 3-liter twin-turbo Ecoboost V6 under the hood. And there's some car spotting right there. Yeah, she's thirsty. So, cost of ownership, those tires are expensive. We didn't even mention this one is nearing the end of its life as a press vehicle, closing in on 18,000 miles. The spare on the back is flat from other journalists. That's going to be expensive to replace.
Oh, yeah.
You have 5 very expensive tires on this one. It ain't cheap. So you really have to
Can you tow with this?
You can tow with this. That is one of the 7 different drive modes. I believe it's like a 5,000 pound tow rating. So it's good, not great, but yeah. So need I even ask? I mean, it fits in our garage. Are we buying one?
No.
That's what I thought.
I
And
mean, maybe a used one. No.
you're paying inflated interest rates and practically sticker pricing on a used one even.
We're pretty cheap though anyway.
Yeah. And on that note, if you want to see more from Holly, from Tucker, some behind the scenes stuff, including me from time to time, go find Holly on Instagram and Facebook at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Talk, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube at GT Garage Talk. Head on over to gtgaragetalk.com where you can read more about this, see pictures, etc. And until next time, gearheads, bye. Will you clap for us?
Me?
Yeah. Will you clap for us? Y'all ready? Is everyone ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
This is
Wait,
terrible.
I'm not ready.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Hey, now I'm not ready. Like it's living with us, or we're living with it. This is just the Raptor's world and we're living in
Yes.
it. Don't know why I'm bothering.
Yeah. You can see a little bit around his head.